What if we told you that traveling from parts of Asia to the US is about to get easier? For decades, travelers from many Asian nations have faced intense scrutiny, long wait times, and endless documentation for US visas. But in 2025, that might finally change for some lucky countries. With new trade alliances, technology agreements, and diplomatic cooperation, the U.S. is starting to loosen its entry requirements. That means certain nations could gain visa free or pre cleared access, transforming travel, business, and family reunification overnight. It's not just about convenience, it's about trust and strategic positioning in a rapidly shifting global map. So, who made the list and why now? From booming economies to security partners, these countries have proven they can play by the rules. Here are the 10 Asian countries the U.S. likely won't require visas from in 2025. Number 10. United Arab Emirates UAE. The United Arab Emirates is already a gateway between East and West, and now it's eyeing visa-free access to the U.S. With booming tech, logistics, and finance sectors, UAE citizens travel globally for business, investment, and education. The U.S. sees strong potential in simplifying access for these high-frequency travelers. In 2025, discussions between U.S. and UAE officials are focused on trusted traveler programs and digital verification frameworks. The Emirates has introduced blockchain-based border control and facial recognition at airports, technology the U.S. is eager to pilot. This alignment of systems is laying the foundation for deeper mobility cooperation. Roughly 100,000 Emiratis visit the U.S. annually, mostly through multi-entry visas used by business leaders and students. Their overstay rates are negligible, and most applicants pass security screenings on the first attempt. These stats make a compelling case for skipping the traditional visa process entirely. The UAE has also hosted joint military operations and intelligence summits alongside U.S. forces across the Middle East. This partnership has only strengthened over time, particularly as both countries focus on counterterrorism and cybersecurity. Strategic alignment is translating into practical travel opportunities. Granting visa-free access would cement the UAE's position as a preferred U.S. partner in the Gulf. It's about access, trust, and modern systems that speak the same language. And for the Emirates, that future looks closer than ever. Number 9. India. India's global influence has grown tremendously, making it one of America's most strategically important partners today. With rising trade deals, military exercises, and diplomatic alignments, the U.S.-India relationship is evolving fast. And in 2025, it may finally include visa-free access for Indian travelers. The two nations have launched working groups to improve mobility for students, entrepreneurs, and skilled professionals. India's Ministry of External Affairs confirmed ongoing discussions about reciprocal entry waivers and simplified verification procedures. The proposal includes limited-time visa-free travel for pre-vetted individuals in approved sectors. India already supplies more foreign students to U.S. universities than any other country, surpassing even China in 2023. Over 1.4 million Indian Americans live in the U.S., creating consistent demand for family-based visits. These deep cultural and academic ties make a strong case for expanding access. With a digital ID system now covering over 90% of its population, India offers advanced traveler authentication capabilities. U.S. authorities are closely studying how India's Aadhaar system could integrate with global mobility networks. These innovations build the technical backbone needed for secure, visa-free movement. Visa-free travel for India would mark a turning point in U.S. foreign policy toward South Asia. It's not just symbolic, it's mutually beneficial on nearly every front. And for millions of Indians, it could be a game changer. Number 8. Mongolia. Coming in at number 8 is a surprising addition. Mongolia, the landlocked nation nestled between Russia and China. In a bold geopolitical move, the U.S. added Mongolia to its visa-free travel list in April 2025, citing strong democratic reforms and military cooperation under the Third Neighbor Policy. It's the first time Mongolia has received such a visa exemption from a major Western power. While Mongolia may not send large volumes of tourists abroad, the symbolic nature of this policy cannot be overstated. The U.S. has praised Mongolia's contributions to peacekeeping missions and its support for U.S.-led initiatives in Central Asia. In return, the visa waiver is being seen as a diplomatic endorsement and a way to counter growing Chinese and Russian influence in the region. Mongolian travelers must still apply for ESTA clearance, but the waiver eliminates consulate visits and long approval waits. Already, travel agencies in Ulaanbaatar are reporting a spike in interest for U.S. trips, particularly to national parks and historic landmarks. Direct flight routes between the two nations are now under discussion, potentially opening new travel corridors. In 2024, fewer than 3,000 Mongolians visited the U.S., but with the visa barrier lifted, tourism is projected to double within a year. Educational exchange is also expected to grow, especially through new university partnerships and Fulbright scholarships. It's a big moment for a small country. Mongolia's inclusion is about more than travel, it's a strategic friendship in the making. And for adventurous Mongolians, 2025 just became the year America got a lot closer. Number 7. Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan might not be the first country that comes to mind when thinking about U.S. travel, but in 2025, it's officially on America's no visa needed list. Thanks to deepening economic ties and regional diplomacy, the U.S. has granted Kazakhstani citizens visa-free access for stays up to 90 days. It's a major win for Central Asia's largest economy and a sign of growing U.S. interest in the region. The announcement came as part of a broader U.S.-Kazakhstan strategic dialogue held in Astana in February 2025. American officials highlighted Kazakhstan's improvements in document security, human rights progress, and counterterrorism cooperation. As a result, Kazakhstan became the first Central Asian country to join the Visa Waiver Program. This change is already making waves in both the tourism and business sectors. Travel agencies in Almaty have reported a 60% spike in inquiries about trips to the U.S., particularly for business expos and cultural experiences. Major U.S. brands are also expanding partnerships with Kazakh firms as bilateral trade ramps up. Kazakh students and entrepreneurs now have an easier path to explore American universities, innovation hubs, and investment opportunities. In 2024, nearly 3,500 Kazakh citizens studied in the U.S., a number that's projected to rise with a new waiver. The ease of travel is also expected to foster more tech collaboration and startup exchange programs. For Kazakhstan, this visa-free access is more than a travel perk. It's a geopolitical milestone. It cements their position as a trusted U.S. partner in a complex neighborhood. And for Americans, expect to see more Kazakh visitors and business deals on the horizon. Number 6. Singapore. At number 6 is Singapore, a long-standing U.S. ally that's been part of the Visa Waiver Program since 1999, but remains one of the only Asian countries to maintain that status uninterrupted. In 2025, the U.S. reaffirmed its commitment to Singapore's visa-free travel, updating its security and data sharing protocols to keep the program running smoothly. This reaffirmation comes amid rising concerns over digital security and global mobility. Despite the program being decades old, Singapore continues to meet all the updated requirements, including low visa overstay rates and high levels of biometric screening. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Singaporeans remain one of the most compliant traveler groups, with fewer than 0.1% overstaying their visit in 2024. That's one of the lowest rates in the world. With a highly educated, tech-savvy population, Singaporeans frequently travel to the U.S. for business, education, and tourism. In fact, over 200,000 Singaporeans visited America last year, with hotspots like New York City, San Francisco, and Orlando topping the list. This number is expected to climb even higher in 2025 as post-pandemic travel hits full throttle. Singaporean students and professionals are also major contributors to U.S. academia and innovation. Ivy League schools, Silicon Valley firms, and biotech startups have all benefited from this flow of talent. With the visa-free arrangement in place, those pipelines stay wide open. Singapore's inclusion may not be new, but its continued place on the list proves one thing. When it comes to trust, reliability, and mutual benefit, this tiny nation punches way above its weight. Number 5. South Korea. South Korea has been on the U.S. Visa Waiver Program list since 2008, but in 2025, the partnership is being taken to the next level. The U.S. has streamlined the ESTA process for South Koreans, reducing approval time to under 30 minutes and expanding the validity period from 2 years to 3. It's a nod to Seoul's role as one of Washington's most reliable allies in Asia. According to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, South Korea ranks among the top 5 countries for visa waiver entries, with over 2 million South Koreans traveling to the U.S. annually. The two countries have also expanded their cooperation on cyber defense, trade, and education, further solidifying the relationship. This enhanced travel access is part of a broader initiative to deepen people-to-people ties. For South Korean students and young professionals, this update makes it even easier to attend American universities and short-term training programs. In 2024, nearly 45,000 South Korean students were enrolled in U.S. institutions, a number expected to grow in 2025. Silicon Valley firms are also actively courting South Korean engineers for exchange fellowships and collaborative research. Additionally, K-culture is fueling interest in U.S. travel like never before. From BTS fans visiting LA to Korean drama enthusiasts exploring New York filming locations, the cultural exchange is thriving. The visa waiver enhancements are only adding fuel to this cross-Pacific fire. By refining its visa-free framework, the U.S. is not just making life easier for South Korean travelers, it's investing in a long-term alliance that's as cultural as it is strategic. Number 4. Taiwan. Taiwan continues to be a vital player in U.S. foreign policy, and in 2025, its citizens are enjoying more visa-free perks than ever before. Although Taiwan joined the Visa Waiver Program in 2012, recent developments have elevated its status to one of the most trusted travel partners in the Asia-Pacific region. The U.S. has extended the ESTA validity period for Taiwanese nationals and fast-tracked entry at select airports. This move comes amid growing security cooperation and shared democratic values between Washington and Taipei. In January 2025, a new U.S.-Taiwan trade agreement was signed, focusing on semiconductors, biotech, and AI development. The stronger diplomatic footing has translated into smoother travel pathways for Taiwanese citizens. Over 700,000 Taiwanese visited the U.S. in 2024, and tourism boards are predicting a 15% jump this year. Destinations like San Francisco, Seattle, and Boston, home to large Taiwanese communities, are seeing record bookings. Meanwhile, Taiwanese business leaders are also flocking to U.S. tech hubs for networking and expansion. Academic exchange is booming, too. U.S. universities report a surge in applications from Taiwanese students, particularly in STEM fields. These students bring not only talent, but also vital connections to Taiwan's booming tech industry. Taiwan's inclusion on the U.S. no-visa list isn't just about convenience. It's a reflection of trust and strategic alignment. And in 2025, that partnership is stronger than ever. Number 3. Brunei. Brunei might be a tiny nation on the island of Borneo, but when it comes to U.S. travel, it holds a big advantage. As a long-standing member of the Visa Waiver Program, Bruneian citizens can travel to the United States for up to 90 days without a visa, and in 2025, that privilege has been reaffirmed and upgraded. The U.S. has introduced faster ESTA approvals and priority immigration lanes at major entry points for travelers from Brunei. The decision stems from Brunei's consistent compliance with U.S. travel regulations, its low visa overstay rate, and its high-level cooperation in counterterrorism and regional diplomacy. According to the U.S. Department of State, Brunei has also strengthened its biometric data and e-passport infrastructure, making its travelers some of the most secure in Southeast Asia. These tech upgrades help seal the deal. Although Brunei sends a modest number of visitors to the U.S. each year, around 15 in 2024, the number is expected to rise now that travel is even more accessible. Bruneian students and healthcare professionals, in particular, are taking advantage of educational and training programs. U.S. hospitals and universities have also increased scholarship and internship outreach to the Bruneian population. This continued visa-free access is more than just a diplomatic courtesy. It's a symbol of shared trust and mutual benefit. Number 2. Japan. Japan has long held visa-free status with the United States, and in 2025, that relationship remains rock solid. As one of America's closest allies in Asia, Japan continues to enjoy streamlined travel privileges under the Visa Waiver Program. What's new in 2025? The U.S. has announced a series of enhancements, including faster customs processing, mobile passport apps for Japanese travelers, and expanded direct flight routes. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Japan ranks among the top 3 Asian countries for inbound travel to the U.S., with more than 3.5 million visitors in 2024. From cherry blossom season tourists heading to D.C. to Silicon Valley engineers attending tech conferences, the U.S.-Japan travel pipeline is thriving. And thanks to the latest upgrades, that exchange is only getting more efficient. Japanese students, meanwhile, remain one of the most represented Asian demographics in American higher education. In 2024, nearly 19,000 Japanese students were enrolled in U.S. institutions. In 2025, new scholarship programs under the Friendship and Innovation Exchange Initiative are further cementing academic ties. Tourism aside, Japan's visa-free access also facilitates business, innovation, and diplomacy. The close relationship between Tokyo and Washington means quick collaboration on everything from climate tech to AI ethics. For Japanese passport holders, this smooth access to the U.S. makes cross-border cooperation seamless. While many countries are still negotiating for visa-free status, Japan's continued place at the top reflects years of mutual respect, reliable governance, and strong strategic alignment. In short, Japan's no-visa status isn't going anywhere. Number 1. Hong Kong. Taking the top spot is Hong Kong, a semi-autonomous region with a complex relationship with both China and the West. In a surprising move, the U.S. government reinstated visa-free travel for Hong Kong passport holders in 2025, reversing restrictions imposed in recent years. Officials cited improved security screening, as well as an effort to support individual freedoms in the region, as key reasons behind the change. This policy shift means that eligible Hong Kong residents can now travel to the U.S. for up to 90 days without a visa under the ESTA system. It's a political statement as much as it is a travel convenience. By reopening this door, Washington is signaling that it distinguishes Hong Kong from mainland China in terms of civil liberties and governance. The response from Hong Kong has been enthusiastic. Travel demand surged within weeks of the announcement, with flight bookings to U.S. cities like New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco up 45% compared to the previous year. Educational exchanges are also being revived, with American universities reporting a renewed spike in Hong Kong student applications. The visa-free reinstatement is expected to boost tech, finance, and medical exchanges between the two regions. Hong Kong entrepreneurs, especially those in fintech and biotech, are already scheduling exploratory business trips. Tourism boards on both sides are ramping up campaigns to reintroduce American and Hong Kong culture to each other's citizens. For Hong Kong residents, this new access marks a hopeful step forward. And for the U.S., it's a strategic soft power move that carries both diplomatic weight and economic benefit. So there you have it, 10 Asian countries where U.S. visa-free travel is now a reality in 2025. From economic allies to strategic partners, each one reflects a unique relationship with the United States that goes far beyond tourism. Whether it's students, entrepreneurs, or curious travelers, millions now have the chance to explore the U.S. with fewer barriers. These changes aren't just about making vacations easier. They represent shifts in trust, diplomacy, and international cooperation at a time when global alliances matter more than ever. And for the countries on this list, visa-free access is both a privilege and a powerful tool for building bridges. Which country surprised you the most on this list? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss a discovery. Thanks for watching Globe Discoveries. We'll see you in the next one.